I'm choosing love and persistence. I'm choosing to be fully engaged. Life is wild. What's up, everyone? It's America Plus. I'm your host, Cole McCormick. It's another week, another episode. What's going on, everybody? It's Monday, the 27th, May 27th, 5:21 in the PM. Everybody, welcome to America Plus. Welcome to another beautiful episode of America Plus, folks. It's been a wild week, guys. It's been a crazy weekend. America Plus is where you get the narratives, right? The narratives for a more beautiful world. And what I want to do this week is I'm not going to use the podcast for like my own therapy because I've already processed emotions, and I'm coming to you off the back of a really wild weekend of love and persistence. Those are the two things that I'm focusing on, love and persistence. Those two things together, that's the narrative that I'm focusing on today and this week. Moving forward, just like in my life, you know? And so this is what was going on. So family stuff, dad stuff. I put out an update on what was going on. This past week, my dad's health has just like, it went really downhill really fast for a minute. And he's doing okay now. He's going to be out of the hospital either by tomorrow night or Wednesday. His health dramatically went down. He recently got a new chemotherapy, and they said that it was like super harsh. So like the side effects were sort of seen, but we weren't expecting this exactly. Pretty much this guy, my dad, he had a freaking infection in his body because of his liver not functioning well, you know, because of the cancer. And so pretty much what was going on is he was like low on fluids, low on like minerals and stuff, and he goes into the ER to get an IV, and they then tell him that they think that he has an infection, and he's in there, and then they find out that he has this, I don't know what's going. I forget the name of this particular thing going on in his body, but pretty much he had like a lot of swelling, and that swelling is called something. It was in the abdominal area, and what I had learned is that the infection was also expressing itself through this extra liquid, this swelling in the abdominal cavity. So like, I guess like our organs have like liquid around them, you know, it's not just blood. It's just like some liquid to help them move around and slosh around and to like stay healthy, I guess. That liquid like was like building up, and the sustaining of that liquid is due to our livers functioning. And like, I might be going way too deep, way too fast on this whole thing, but I'm just telling you why he was in the hospital. Long story short, he had this swelling and they're trying to bring it down. But it's also a really bad sign that his liver wasn't functioning well. And that has been the most like the highest level of focus from like the doctors. Anytime they're talking about reducing tumors, they're usually going to talk about reducing tumors in the liver. You know, who cares about the lung? Who cares about the lymph node? It's the liver that's like the centerpiece of all the organs, of most of the organs, you know? Oh, yeah. So he has this infection, and I was talking to my mom this week, and she just had like this really like tense, I guess you could say, just like fearful expression. And I just had the instinct to just go home to Arizona to make a quick trip and try to just like see what's going on and try to figure out like, do I need to change anything about my life so I can help my family. And again, I'm not going to use this for therapy. Like, I'm not trying to put these like emotions on you, but I do feel compelled to talk about the lessons that I'm learning within this situation. And because I think it's going to help other people, because, you know, quite frankly, this is the most hard thing that I have had to experience, for sure. And I'm lucky to say that I'm just an observer in this. But pretty much the lesson is persistence. right now. And I pair persistence with love. And the love part is coming through the thing that I was doing right before I went to Arizona to visit my dad in the hospital. Right beforehand, like literally right before me and Shannon got on the road, we were at a wedding for a friend, for one of our best friends who we used to work with. And it was a beautiful wedding. And this wedding was, of course, like planned, but like almost like a year in advance. And we knew that it was coming up, but it just came up at this wild time in my family's life. And it's crazy to see, like, this is also my first like adult wedding. I had never been to a wedding as an adult. I had been to like weddings as a kid, but never like my friend's wedding. I've never been to that. So this is my first time experiencing that. And the whole ambiance, man, of the wedding was gorgeous. It was like a really chill vibe, sort of like a rustic, like farm vibe. And my buddy's Scottish and he wore a kilt. I was like, that's insane. I didn't know he was gonna wear a kilt. And I'm just like living in the environment of families coming together, friends coming together, meeting up. I met people that I hadn't seen in years. Hey man, what's going on? Like, how are you doing, man? You look great. Like, what's up, man? Like these sorts of conversations. And the very next day, the very next morning, I'm in the hospital with my dad saying, "Hey dad, nice to see you. How are you feeling?" It's very insane. And being grateful for life. Like this weekend, my eyes were so opened up to how much I'm so grateful for life and how insane life is and crazy life is and how beautiful it is. And it's like I don't know where exactly to go right now. I'm sort of just like going with the flow. But the two things that I know for sure is the wedding was beautiful and I still see life in my dad. And those two things are super important. And when it comes to love, I'm choosing to love my current moment, to love what I see, to be honest with what might be a little painful to love. But I love. And then I'm choosing to lead with the narrative of persistence. I'm to leaning in to persistence right now. And I was going to send this to my dad before I actually started recording today because I've been trying to just text my dad a little bit more. But I was looking up the definition of persistence, dude. Persistence. Pressure. Persuasive. Persistence. I'm spelling it wrong, dude. If you saw my the definition. Persistence. Firm or obstinate or abstinent continuance. Whoops. Or obstinate. I can't fucking read. Firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. The continued or prolonged existence of something. Persistence. I'm looking at my dad in the hospital and I still see that there's like life in his eyes and there's like he's fighting for his life. He's going through hell. I said this to him last night. I was on the road and he calls me and he was just checking in. I'll go, Dad, this is sort of crazy. Like, you're really going through some wild shit right now, Dad. Like, you're in hell. And he goes, oh, yep, I know. But you know what? Fuck hell. We're going to beat it. I go, yeah, that's right, Dad. That's right, Dad. We're going to fucking go beat it. Like, hell yes, Kevin. Hell yes. Fuck hell. And it's these moments that I've had with my dad that have like continued to bring me hope within this situation and how beautiful that is. And I guess this whole episode this week is just like a big invitation for you to try to find what you love. Try to lean into the adversity a little bit. If you're persistent, that means that you're not running away from what's hard. That means that you're leaning in and figuring out how to how to carry it, how to push through it, how to navigate it. That's what persistence is, man. It's not just you like sitting down and like trying to hold yourself together while the weight of the entire ocean is like on you. Like, that's not persistence. That's just like you being still. That's you being frozen. That's fight or flight. That's fight, flight, freeze. You know, just like doing nothing in the moment. And what I'm trying to do, and what I've been discussing with my family, is like trying to like maybe it's appropriate for me to reorder my schedule to help the family a little bit. And so I'm going through that right now. I'm not talking about like ending the podcast at all. The podcast is a constant. What I'm just talking about is just like seeing my family a bit more, helping out where it's needed a bit more, just seeing my dad a bit more. Just trying to make those decisions, trying to figure out what the best decision for me for that is. Because it's a big deal, and it's wild when you go through something for the first time. Like, of course, like every moment of our lives, you go through it for the first time. But when it comes to these moments and these like events and these like real, like, you need to be strategic so you can engage with something so dramatically important. It's almost uncomprehendable. Like, that's what I'm going through right now. And I'm choosing love and persistence. I'm choosing to be fully engaged. It's really important. And from my point of view, staying fully engaged also means to continue to seek the positive story, to seek the lesson, and to hope for the best, and to believe in a miracle. That's really where my mindset is, and that's what I think I can bring to my family. When I was visiting my family, I was able to show them like a little meditation that I do, and I'm not sure if anyone like really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if it was just like annoying. It was like a 3-minute thing. But the reason why I wanted to share it with them was because I feel like that is, if I'm around more, that's something that I can introduce. That's something that I can help lead. Because when it comes to any possibility of healing, you know, and of course, like, I don't care if this sounds naive. Like, we're praying for complete healing. And, you know, the mission is complete remission. You know what I mean? Like, I just did that right now. Like, the mission is remission. You understand me? That's funny. But that is literally what's in my mind right now, man. That's in my heart. Like, I'm working on believing that and speaking that into existence, and working on myself on an energy level. I'm not trying to go too woo-woo on you or too new age or too anything crazy, but you already know this about me. We have a physical connection to our spirits, and our energy can affect people. You ever sit next to a negative Nancy and they start annoying you and pissing you off? Like, our energy is important. This has to be just normalified. I see a path to help my family's energy. And that's sort of how I want to help. That's how I think I can help. So we'll see how that works out. I might be going to Arizona like once a week or once every 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. Depends on the car situation. My brakes in my car are just a little like old, so I got to get those fixed. So maybe I fly. We'll see. I want to fly. It's an hour flight. I don't want to drive 6 hours. It's an hour flight. Can I please just get a flight? There's cheap tickets. Southwest has cheap tickets, so we'll see if I can get a... Let's buy in bulk. Costco should sell cheap Southwest tickets. Where's that deal, Costco? Give me that deal. But yeah, it's a serious moment. There's no like complete lesson, you know, but I can still speak about this in a positive way because I believe that there is a positive outcome to all of this. I'm not seeking to predict the future. I'm not assuming that I know the future or I can control the future. I'm not trying to be Anakin here, you know. It's funny how that's actually like a big like the story of Anakin Skywalker was such a foundational storyline for myself as a kid growing up, and you know, that story is about this kid being afraid to lose their loved ones and trying to do anything they can to like have the power to bring him back. And here I am, I believe I already have the power, or I believe I believe the power already exists. And even if it doesn't come out the way that we want it to, the outcome of that will then bring us what we needed. The outcome of whatever, like the outcome will give you what is needed and what was, Do I want to say destiny? Do I want to say God's plan? I don't know. But this is just a big old journey. Big old journey. And I have hope that this is just a bump in the road. The good thing about my dad, so he's in good spirits. Like he's pretty much his normal self. He's cracking jokes. He's talking shit to the nurses. He's buying the nurses pizzas. So he's on their good side. He's on Facebook. He's scrolling through reels. He's just like letting my grandparents talk how he usually does. My dad is normal. He's just a bit quieter and a bit sicker right now. But when I see him, and Shannon was commenting on this as well, you see so much life in him. You don't see acceptance of death. But I'm also not sure if, you don't see the acceptance of death, and you also don't see the fear of death. That's just my observation. I'm just looking at him, looking at other people. I see that the life is going through hell right now. Like his body is suffering. He's going through the most monumental suffering a modern human can go through, modern Western society, death. This is crazy. And my mind just it's getting blown. My mind is continually expanding. Wow, look at the magnitude of this. Look at this. This is the first time I'm I've never been in the hospital for a loved one. Oh my God, my dad's in the hospital. Oh my God, what is going on here? I'm going through these thoughts. And it's I don't know how to feel. It's all hitting me so fast. And then it's also just am I just sort of accepting it? Am I supposed to be worried? Am I supposed to be sad? How am I really supposed to feel? And the funny thing about that situation is these emotions just come to you when they come to you. You process the information and, I can only speak for my case. I process the information. I hear what's going on. And then I'm sort of quiet for a minute. And then I can sort of get in crisis mode and I can try to plan it out and try to think about it forwards, backwards, sideways, slantways, always, and try to figure out a game plan, try to figure out a better story for it, trying to find that positivity in that situation. And then I get sad, and then I get quiet again, and then I get just worried, and I get anxious, and then I get sad again. It's it's a wild roller coaster. It was a wild roller coaster in Arizona. And I still feel grateful for it. I'm wow, this is life. This is my life. This is my life. How beautiful it is to see my father fight for his life. How inspiring it is to see my father fight for his life. Do not go quietly into the night. Rage against that light. That is that the poem? Did I just fuck that poem up? But that is the poem, That is the situation. It's inspiring, Getting to see and I want to live in that world where I'm literally inspired by my father, by what he went through with cancer, I want to live in that world. I want to live in that world. That sounds like the more beautiful world my heart knows. The more beautiful world where your loved one lives. Wow. What a concept. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. What else do I want to share about it? I can also say that the people around you are really important. And luckily we have some people that are aware of that truth. And my family's been through certain situations with friendships and family friends and falling outs and reconnections. And I think in this moment, my parents have like really positive people around them. And anyone who doesn't give to that positivity or give or match them with that life-giving energy, problem solving, loving, praying for complete healing energy, those types of people that are not in line with that, luckily they're not really around for a long time, or you sort of just like bump into them, they're not really around. And so it's been interesting to see that as well, like what friends are going to come around. And, it's pretty cool to see like how cool people are. Just seeing these family friends who I might have known them since I was a kid, but like I never really thought about them as people. I just sort of see, like when you're a kid and your parents have friends, you sort of just like see them as like, okay, like another adult. I guess they're my other parent or something. Like, it's almost like when you're a kid, everyone is an adult and like they're sort of in charge of you, I guess. I don't know. Am I the only one thinking that? But then when you get older, it's like, oh my God, like I can actually talk to this person like a person. Like I'm actually like talking about this with them. I'm not just like, I'm not they're subservient. Like I'm not underneath them. That's something that I've grown up with. Like, I think it's just, there's such a hard like thing about leadership for me growing up. Like I was always taught about leadership, respecting the leader, following the leader, being a leader, listening to people, being a servant leader. And then this other side of it is like respecting adults, respecting elders. They probably like usually being told what to do by an adult. But now what I'm experiencing is like as an adult, it's like, oh, like now I'm on an equal playing field, because out here in LA, I still feel like a fucking kid talking to my 20-some-year-old friends. We're all just like, it's still us against the man. But then when you're actually hanging out with your dad in the hospital and his friends who have kids and homes and they sell insurance and they're talking about energy and they're talking about the scam that is for-profit medicine in America. Like when you're talking about these things with them, like it's like, oh shit, wow, like this is cool, like this is cool, man. Like it's not just a conspiracy. It's not just something that you hear about that's going on. It's something that's really happening and other people know about it. And I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be able to engage with people who are awake like this. I think there's been a, what do you want to call it? Gravity. There's been a pull, towards people gathering with other certain people. Whatever their vibration is, whatever their mindsets are, people align themselves, and I'm happy that my parents have aligned themselves with people who are very positive and they're successful people and they're healthy people and they are loving people. What other kind of friend do you want? So that's really cool to see. And throughout all this, I'm also just like finding my place in space. If the narrative is love and persistence, to love and persist, like on an individual level, that is my place right now, to love and persist. That means I need to check my energy. I need to check my heart. I need to check my thoughts. I need to be top tier with my health and what I bring to the table. To the best of my ability, so that I can be an example for the people around me if they choose to take me on as an example. And I can also just be a person who's giving that loving, life-giving energy. Just be balanced, to just know that your big brother is like a balanced individual. To know that your oldest son is like finding his own. To know that he is discovering his full potential, or in the process of activating his full potential and using this crisis in the family as a way to bring the family together and a way to raise our consciousness, to raise our awareness to new possibilities, to new paths, to healing, to just a more beautiful way of living. There has to be a way that this ends on a good note. I am so focused on that. And I'm willing to do everything I can for my family, to be there for them, to pray for them, to be a rock for them, to be a shoulder to lean on, to be someone who can be a beacon of positivity or love, or just someone who is not doom and gloom, someone who is there with you and just choosing to anchor everything with love. Like, I'm trying my best with that right now to help lead my family with that. Because I'm the only guy, you know. It's my dad, my cousin, not my cousin, my nephew Wyatt, who's 5, and then it's me. Like, there's no one else. And I'm not saying men need to lead the family, but I'm saying when there's an oldest male, like, what else are you really supposed to do when you're the eldest male? And you're healthy, you're well-bodied, you're American, you're military aged. What else are you supposed to do? You know, are you supposed to hide away? Like, no way. Are you supposed to just like try to just like push this problem off to the older people? No, you got to step the fuck up and be willing to be willing to just put your head down and just work. You know, my dad says that to me all the time. Like, whenever we're talking about general work, he usually ends the conversation with, well, the next day, your next shift, just put your head down, just do what you got to do. Just get in there and just do it. And I go, yep, got it. And that's something that I got to do for my family. I just got to put my head down and just be there for them. Help out where my mom needs it. Help out if I need to drive someone. Help out by just being there with them. You know, your presence is so dramatically important for your family and for your loved ones. You know, you choosing to be around them and choosing to have your heart be open, you know, and that's in the form of just outwardly loving people or just not being closed-minded with the world around you. Just being open for that nice conversation, for the serendipity, you know, being around your loved ones and having that type of an invitation to the world to come into you, to have the world come into your life and to sort of choose to swim with it. You know, that's what I'm trying. I'm just swimming with this moment. Yesterday, to sort of get some steam off my chest, I hopped in my parents' pool, my family pool, did a few laps, and that's a form of cardio. I really don't do cardio unless I'm like depressed. Or unless there's like a lot of stress on me. When I was losing a ton of weight in 2017, I was running a ton. I was swimming and running, and just running my heart out, running out emotions. And so if you ever see me do cardio, that means I'm trying to work out something, trying to work through some emotions. And I was swimming in the pool, and I was able to get myself to a place where I can actually believe in positivity. So when I move my body more, I believe in positivity more often. There's a higher chance of being positive. And so I'm trying to bring that information to my family. Because the higher our energy, the more aware we are, the higher our consciousness, the higher the odds a beautiful solution will come. The higher the odds. Like, I think me doing these things, me focusing on my health, focusing on my heart, on my spirit, on my mindset, and trying to bring this to my family. Like, maybe my dad does something, maybe my sister does another tool, maybe my mom discovers something about what she likes to do. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to be militant with like what you need to do to be a sound individual, spiritually and physically, for this $5,000 course. No, I'm just trying to share what I can to the people that I love the most. about what might help them make life and this difficult situation a bit more bearable. And that's only done in love. And I encourage you to do the same thing with your loved ones and yourself. To keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself disciplined, and to do the things that are good for you. Because we usually don't do things that are good for us. That is the lesson that I have learned from my father. You know, regardless of, you know, no one really knows, how did the cancer start? But what we all know, is like usually cancer is like, it's a long term, it comes at the end of something. You know, it's a return of what was, it's a return of certain things. Like if you're obese, that means you ate bad food, you know? So it's like a recourse. I don't have the right word for it, but whatever it might be. Maybe it's not food. Maybe it's whatever. I don't know. But it's usually at the end of something. And so therefore you got to be one to meet it, to meet it where it is, and to work with it, and to figure out a way to reverse it, or to figure out a way to at least align yourself and the people around you to a more open future, to a more open path, you know? I'm sort of just rambling at this point. But that's my mindset with my family. So, yeah, man, it's sort of serious. It sort of sucks. But my dad's leaving soon. So he had inflammation. He had like extra fluid in his belly. He's getting that taken out tomorrow, Tuesday. And then he's probably going to leave the hospital Wednesday. And he's open to new medications. The nice thing about my dad is that he's open to new things. So we got this thing, what's it called? It's called fenbendazole. I guess there's like some information about this over-the-counter dog. Now this is not medical advice, but there's information, and there is some studies about this over-the-counter drug called fenbendazole. It's a dog dewormer, and it's shown to decrease cell replication within cancer cells. So my mom just got that when he gets out of the hospital. Pretty sure he's going to start a regimen with that. We're going to listen to the doctors for what they recommend in terms of chemotherapy. We discussed him doing a bit more, just changing up his diet a little bit more, upping dosage, changing changing foods a bit more. So it's serious, man. It's serious, but wouldn't have it any other way because, it is what it is. You got to accept the moment for what it is. And that's the truth. That's the truth, man. So that's the value I got, man. That is the value. That means we're going to, I want to head on into the value for value section, everybody. America Plus is a value for value show. We do the value for value model here with the boostograms, with the music, this whole value verse, dude. This is how I want to do everything that I produce online. I produce the content up front, and you're able to reciprocate the value that you're getting through three main ways: time, talent, treasure. Time is by you listening, returning, sending this, talking about this. Just thank you for being around. Thank you for your attention. Second thing is talent. If you got anything to share with me, if you got any links, information, wisdom, Bible verses, recipes, I cook and bake, send those to me. That's your talent. And the treasure, you can do treasure in two main ways. We got a PayPal, the America Plus PayPal, if you want to send me any dollars, or you can boost me in a modern podcast
Go to
app.
value4value.info for more info, then download the Fountain.fm app. It's the best way to support the show.
My favorite modern podcasting app is called Fountain. You can do boostograms. You can send me little bits of Bitcoin called Satoshis. And you can send any amount of money that you want. And I'm going to be reading the boostograms from the last week. Number 123, Megalopolis, Part 2. Last week I talked about that new Francis Ford Coppola movie coming out later this year, Megalopolis. I talked about it last year, but wanted to bring it up. It was just at Cannes. Or cons, whatever you want to call it. So we got a couple boostograms coming in from @Joel W. His first one, he sends in a usual 1,111 sats. He has to say, I think the new Beetlejuice movie is the movie that's going to answer all of our questions. Yeah, dude.
Boost.
Yeah, Joel. Beetlejuice, help me, please. Dude, I love Beetlejuice. I think that Beetlejuice would be a good movie, dude. Thank you, Joel. Next one from Joel. Another Satchel of Richards. He says, sounds like Hollyweird is trying to run Coppola out of town. Like the guy in the first clip you played, he says he's part of the old guard. Probably a really good movie if they're trying to attack it like this. Yeah.
And now, as the French say, it is time for le boost.
Joel, you're 1,000% accurate, dude. They're suppressing Francis Ford Coppola. And then the last one from Joel, he sends in through the emojis, Satchel of Richards. He says, forearm shiver, fire, rock on. Yes.
Basically, you put Bitcoin with anything, and all of a sudden, that is more efficient.
Forearm shiver. Hell yeah, dude. And I got 40% of that boost. Forearm shiver got 60%. That's going on all the time at America Plus. The musician and band, they always get 40%. And then the next boostergram, the last one of the week, we got in 1,500 Satoshis from our friend Farillis. He always likes to stream in and boost when he wants to. He was actually commenting on the little show update. He says, "We love you, Cole. Praying for you and your family." Thank you so much.
Boostar. It's basically, you put Bitcoin with anything, and all of a sudden, that is more efficient.
Boost.
Thank you so much, Frillis, and thank you so much to Joel too. Oh, he commented on the show update as well. Thank you, Joel. Yeah, man, family first, right? Thank you for that, dude. Like, that's value for value. Like those people, that is how you do value for real. The important thing to remember about America Plus is that this thing is like growing into more things, into more shows and more cinematic experiences, so I'm grateful that I can have this community right now. I'm grateful for the people who choose to donate and choose to just hang out with me. I really do appreciate you guys, and I appreciate just the journey I've been on with America Plus. It's been really fun, and I'm ready to see it grow more and grow into where I want to take it, so. If you want the full experience of the podcast, download fountain.fm or any modern podcasting app like Podverse or Podcast Guru. You're able to stream small bits of Bitcoin to me and the artist while their song plays. This is a new system. It's pretty much, in my opinion, the revolution of putting out content online. Get those apps, listen to the full experience. Thanks for watching the whole video. Subscribe.